Hey everyone, this is Steve here. Today we are going to get back into the book called The Richest Man in Babylon. And we are in chapter 6, and it's titled Controlled Thy Expenditures. And I'm going to show a screen here. Look at my notes here. Okay. It says control thy expenditures. Okay, now here is we're talking with Arcadia, because if you understand, if you know what happened in the previous chapters, the kingdom of Babylon was having a little problem with people not having work, and so they did not have any, the money was drying up. But there was a few people who, learned to gain wealth. Just same as everybody else. They did, they started out doing a job and they learned how to save their wealth. And so the king calls in Arcadia, who is the richest man in Babylon, and he asked him how he got his wealth, and he shared with the king how he did that. And so the king said, will you teach 100 of my teachers how to create wealth, so they can go and teach his people in the kingdom how to create wealth. And so Arcadia agreed. So here he is. He's in the temple of learning. And the first lesson he talked about is the lean purse, how to fatten a lean purse. Well, a lean purse is just, a purse that has no money in it. So basically he's talking about people that you need to pay yourself 10% of what you earn and live on the 90%. So here we are. We're continuing the second part of his point. It's called control thy expenditures. And so he's sitting there with all these teachers, and he's asking them, yesterday was your purse lean? Okay. And basically everyone said, yes, my purse was lean. But he noticed that there's, some of the people had different income levels. They did different jobs. Yeah, some had more, some had less, but they all had the same situation, that they all had lean purses. And isn't that the way it is? Even though we get a better job or make more money, but it seems like our expenses seem to rise. And there's a reason for that, because humans have a desire for instant gratitude, which we think we need. We need a bigger house. We need a better car. So we increase our expenses, and we are overspending what we actually make. Now, Arcade said you got to recognize not to let this gratification grow, okay? Because it's like a weed grown in a farmer's field that is not cultivated or taken care of. It will eventually grow and choke out the fruit. And that's what happens with gratitude. We let it keep growing. The desires grow in us, and we are choking out our fruit, and we're not saving any money. And so we got to recognize where we're at in that. And, these people said, well, Arcadia, you are wealthy, and you can gratify yourself whatever you may desire. And Arcadia said, no, this is false idea, because there are limits to his time. There are limits to his strength. There are limits to the distance he can travel. There are limits to what I eat. And there are limits to the zest in which I enjoy. Okay? And you can see that. You can, if you ever notice that you get people who have become wealthy and that their kids really didn't have to do anything, they didn't learn how to create wealth. And daddy dies, passes on the fortune, and then shortly after that, everything falls apart because he did not learn the skills how to create wealth. Okay? So Well, we know the problem is that this desire for instant gratification can grow, and we end up spending more money than we really have. So our solution is we need to put together a list of all of our expenditures, and we need to go through and see what is necessary and what is not. Okay? So once you determine, that which is not necessary, you need to let go of it and recognize it what it is not necessary in our life. Because we get a bunch of stuff in our lives that does not, after about a short time, we lose the desire, but we get stuck with payments or whatever it is. So you need to find and you need to eliminate enough of those things in our lives that we can get down to where we're only spending 90% of our income. If you can keep, you spent 90%, where you can keep that 10%, and that 10% will build. We'll start fattening your purse, because every time you get paid, you spend 90 and you add another 10 into that purse. Okay. Next time, spend 90 and then you get 10. So we need to go through and look at our expenditures and eliminate that which is not needed or necessary. Okay. And then once we determine that the stuff that we don't need, we need to do a budget. So now we're only doing our, and monitor it and keep track of it. So we're only spending 90% and keeping 10% to fatten your purse. I'm sorry, I just, when I look, I'm looking over here. I keep forgetting the camera's here, but so you see what's going on here? We have to learn to think about how we're spending our money and learn to live on the 90%, save the 10%, and you always will start being ahead because it will start growing. And then when that money grows, he also mentions that you need to let that money create children or start, investing, and it will grow even faster. Okay, let me get out of the screen here. Well, that's chapter 6, control thy expenditures. And I hope it was a help. If it was, hey, why don't you guys just, make a comment down below and let me know how things are going and what you think. And share this blog with people, and because I know there's people out there that are struggling and they could use some information. And if you think the information is good, well, please share it. In my life, I didn't learn these skills until I'm learning now. But I am doing things different, and I am in a different type. I'm learning to be an entrepreneur. And if you guys are interested in learning what I'm doing, hey, there's a button down below. Just go click on it, go watch the videos, and see if it's something that will help you get what you want out of life and apply these principles of controlling thy expenditures. And with that said, live powerfully, and I hope to see you on the beaches of the world. Have a great day.